how I took myself from being worn out in my 40s to being in the best shape of my life and thriving in my 50s and creating a life that I'm absolutely in love with. That woman you see on the left, she was 46 then. She looked okay, but she was tired. She thought she was eating well, was running 10 kilometers a day, eating restrictively, and was not filling her cup. Always saying yes to everybody, feeling on that roundabout treadmill of life, just doing what we had to do, ticking all the boxes, but not thriving. Absolutely not thriving. When I look back now, I absolutely know that that was perimenopause. I could feel there was differences happening, but I didn't know what it was. I just felt tired. I had no energy. I was cranky, a bit moody. I'm not really moody as terrible, but just not feeling me. And as we know, when estrogen starts to decline and then when it walks out the door, it affects every single system in our body. And it's not talked about enough, but it absolutely does. Every single system, not just our musculoskeletal system and where we lay fat down and our muscle mass, but also how our gut works, how our liver processes, how we think, how we feel. Everything gets affected with the decline and then when estrogen actually departs the building. And there's women struggle everywhere, but we're all looking for answers, but we don't realize that it's every single part. It's not just our reproductive system that changes, but it affects every little thing. And then we have the woman on the right at 54 years of age, eating differently, really dialed into her nutrition, targets sleep, knows how to exercise, just lots of mindset changes, has worked on habits and all sorts of things to be thriving. It is a totally different feeling. And I actually feel younger now at 54 than what I did at 46. My skin is glowing. My shape is better. I'm not tired. I have that zest, and everyone can too. Every single person, every single woman can do exactly this. So in my 40s, I said I was battling exhaustion, bloating, no motivation. I was tired. I was just spinning my wheels. And then I realized, firstly, I needed to change my gut biome. Things weren't working as they should have been. I was feeling a little bit insecure, as I said, never prioritized myself, and I really didn't feel sexy in my own skin. Everyone said, oh, you're skinny. I was a skinny fat. I was depriving myself of essential nutrients that I needed. I didn't understand how much protein I should have been eating to hold on to my muscle. I didn't know anything about that. I was just eating what I thought was healthy, what I used to do through my 20s and 30s. And yes, I thought I've just got busy kids. That's why I'm feeling like I am, but it wasn't that at all. I needed to go down the rabbit hole. I needed to do lots of study, lots of testing, lots of measuring, which I have done, which has created what it has now. So who is this system that I have created, this block of things that I've put together for people? Who is it for? If you are someone who is sick and tired of trying to get rid of stubborn belly fat while staying lean, then you will benefit from this. If you are sick of having low energy, not feeling motivated, and don't have any desire or drive to do or change anything because you're tired, you know you need to, but you just don't have that drive to do it, then this is for you. And if you are sick and tired of what menopause is doing to you and all the different stuff that's coming at you, then this also is for you. So if you are not willing to change things because you have to, the only way you're going to get a different result than what you're getting is to change what you're doing now, because it is just not working. And everyone says, oh, it's just getting older. But you've seen it. There are so many women now in our 50s that look phenomenal. And we're the same age. We're going through menopause or been through menopause, and we still are looking differently. So you have to make change. You have to draw that line in the sand and say, I'm sick of not keeping promises to myself. I'm sick of trying to do the same things over and over thinking it's going to work. I can tell you right now, estrogen, hormones, how you eat, all those things affect it, and we need to do things a little bit differently now. If you are looking for quick fixes to melt away the belly fat and all of a sudden have this amazing thing, then this won't be for you either. And if you are not ready to commit to changing anything, if you're happy with the person that's looking back at you in the mirror, and if you are happy with how your life is running right now, well, then you won't get the changes, and this isn't for you either. Now, here's the truth. You don't need to do hours and hours of cardio, restrict your eating and hardly eat any calories. So many women I hear eating like 800 or 1200 calories a day. It is so not enough. And you don't need to have all the lotions, potions, pills, and everything else to have a strong, lean, sexy physique and feel amazing and have that vibrancy and just feel incredible again. So there are some core principles, and it is really, really simple, I can tell you. I always call it the basic fundamentals. Yes, they're boring, but boring works. And when you are happy to stick to the boring and embrace that, oh my God, magic happens. So it's dialing in on your nutrition, being focused on those daily fundamentals of training. And it's not like you've got to go to the gym every day. I understand that. That is a real fear for women who have never done that, to go in there and not look stupid and to know not what to do. And I don't know how to squat and how do I pick that weight up? And I don't know. I will show you all of that, or you don't even have to do it that way. But to be disciplined too, it's learning discipline. It's learning to say no to things that don't serve you and yes to things that do, and to be consistent and not rely on motivation. People will say to me, I just can't be motivated. You're so motivated. I am so not motivated all the time. I have just created a set of habits, a set of routines, and routines. I'm a big routine person. My kids were highly routine. Most of us are. That's how we work. And that works. And if we can put that together when we're busy, because let's face it, we're busy and life is smacking us all the time. There's never going to be the right time. Not ever is there going to be the right time, because there's always something or someone that needs you. If we can do it while you're busy and fit it into your busy lifestyle, which is totally possible because you're creating a new lifestyle. It's not a diet. It's not a quick fix. It's not anything else. We are changing what you're doing to give you long-lasting results through your 50s, 60s, and 70s. I look at it now as exciting. We get to draw that line in the sand and reinvent ourselves, reinvent the wheel, do things differently that will give us a better quality of life in our 60s, 70s, and 80s. And we can see we're not silly. You look, people say, oh, we're living longer, but we're not living longer well. People have got heaps, their whole life is around doctor's appointments and, not wanting to fall over and frail and things hurting and aching and I can't do this and I can't do that. And that's not fun. We want to have strong, robust bodies. We have to lift our bags you look at women and men even, they're struggling to get their bags in the overhead in planes and they can't get their bags on the treadmills that take them away. And it's struggling to lift things. It's getting in and out of cars, walk upstairs. That's not the quality of life you want. We don't want to be like that. Maybe living longer, but not living well. We want to change that. So to feel to get rid of that motivation thing, motivation only lasts for such a tiny bit of time. It's the discipline and the habits that will make sure you continue to do it. And I promise you, I will show you how to do that. It is not rocket science. It's just getting used to doing things a little bit differently. And then, of course, building resilience, overcoming those obstacles that get in the way, knowing what they are and having things in place to stop them when they happen. We know that little voice. We know what it is. A lot of it is mental. A lot of it are demons we have in our closets that have come over years of what we've had to adapt to, things that may make self-sabotage. We need to address those. We need to look at how we can, find different ways of doing things to block all that out and move forward. And that can be done too. And then we have our daily non-negotiables. As I said, routines, habits. I know they sound boring, but they work. And right now, when you're sitting, if you're not happy with where you're at, your daily non-negotiables are just not the right ones. Then it's not working for you. They've become habits that aren't serving you. So we need to change those into things that do. So things like having the same wake up time, making sure we're prioritizing sleep, making sure we're getting vitamin D and sunlight, making sure we're moving our bodies, and of course, dialing into our nutrition, learning about macros, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and of course the micros, the fiber, the fruit, the vegetables, the vitamin, the minerals, and including supplements if you need them. Not everyone does. I actually did a methylation DNA test because I'm so into biohacking and I want to live well as long as I can. And I don't want to waste money on things. I need to know what gaps to plug, and that's exactly why I did. So supplements are important because we are devoid of lots of different things, and the way that we live, we need to help ourselves out. But again, that's not for everyone, but definitely dialing in on our macros and micros. And then I said tracking our macros, movement. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be, for some people, we're just getting used to doing your daily steps, getting them up to 10,000 a day. Movement is super important. Did you know that the average 30-year-old now walks half as much as what the 30-year-old did in the year 2000? So we're just not moving enough. We're becoming very, very sedentary, and there is no such thing as a healthy sedentary person. I'm going to say that again. There is no such thing. So sitting around and thinking, most average people do 3,000 steps a day, and it's just not enough. And you can see the results of society. And then organizing your calendar into time blocks of productivity. Can I tell you how life-changing that is? I will show you how to do all of that, because it does change how you get through your day. We all have 24 hours in a day. The biggest thing I hear is, I'm just too busy. Well, we have the same amount of hours as Beyonce. We have the same amount of hours in the day as Donald Trump. We have the same amount of hours in the day as, I don't know, someone that's really, really busy. Think of someone, but we have the same amount of hours. But we say we're too busy. We can fit so much more in, but it comes to time blocking and scheduling what we need, and I promise you that will work. And then we have what I call the food pyramid 2.0, because let's face it, the food pyramid that we were guided by through the 80s and the 90s when I was growing up in my 20s, and I guess even into my 30s into the year 2000, needs to be flipped on its head. It did not serve anyone. Look at the population now. We need to look at ourselves and we go, oh my goodness, that was not serving us. That was terrible what they were telling us to do. And the low fat and the high carbohydrates and oh my goodness, it has not been a great thing for society at all, but we can change that. We need to look at whole foods, minimize the processed stuff, minimize the numbers. I know we hear about it, but once you dial into that, it becomes easy. Meal prep is easy. You keep things simple. Again, boring is good. Quality sources, choosing grass-fed, pasture-raised, and wild-caught options. Avoiding the simple carbs. Carbohydrates are not evil. We absolutely need them. They're good for our brain. They give us energy. Our muscles love it. We want that. However, there are certain carbohydrates that are good and certain ones that are not so good, but we do need them. So your fruit and vegetables and everything are great carbohydrates. Sweet potatoes, rice, awesome. I even love a sourdough bread, a really good quality one every now and then. But a lot of the other things we have to get rid of. And then we look at time-restricted feeding. It's not for everyone. It does work for me. I'm not talking about long fasts, because as we get through into menopause, I don't believe that's a great thing either. I think we need to look at how our bodies, we're not small men. A lot of studies on fasting have been done on men, not on women. And the more research I'm doing is showing different things. But time-restricted feeding is still a great thing. Making sure you're getting that 12 to 14 hours between dinner and breakfast is a great way. And also make sure that we have better calorie control. Mindful eating, paying attention to hunger and avoiding distractions and going, I'm a bit bored, I'm just going to go to the cupboard and, oh, those biscuits look good. Oh, I'm going to have those chips. Oh, what can I eat? Sometimes it's emotional. And we have to undo that. They are those demons in the closet that we need to work through. And everyone is different. We all have them. Once we unlock them, once we address them, you will never look back. The supplement guide. As I said, not everyone wants to supplement and not everyone needs to get brilliant results. It's the fundamentals that count. As I said, I have done a DNA, a methylation test, so I know what is right for me. I don't methylate B vitamins. I don't methylate folate. My liver doesn't process alcohol. I know all these different things, so I know what works for me. So creatine is amazing for all women. I think all women need creatine. Definitely when we're trying to get our protein macros up, because most women are under eating protein. I think only maybe a quarter of the population gets it right. Everyone else is under. And what the guideline is still not good enough. We need to be eating a certain amount every day to hold our lean muscle. You can burn more calories eating protein. So when you want to when we're looking at macros and calories within them, we want to make sure that we are getting the right amount and having a great, clean, quality whey protein powder. Or for some people who don't like dairy, you can have plant-based. Being able to add that to things, being able to top that protein up is super important. Hydrolyzed collagen, 95% of the population is lacking in collagen. They're collagen deficient. They see it, they feel it, they just don't know it. And the joints, the aging, it affects, again, so many different components of our body, because we are made up of protein and we are made up of collagen. And without it, we have all sorts of things. So making sure you're supporting yourself with that is also really important. And of course, omega-3s. And the other one I love is magnesium, because that actually drives 600 different functions in our body. 600. And most of us are not getting enough magnesium. I like to have magnesium glycinate before I go to bed every single night. Helps me sleep, repairs my body, and does all the things that it needs to do. So the gut harmony method is designed to restructure your microbiome. As I said, as you go through menopause perimenopause starts in your mid-30s, believe it or not. But as you go through, your gut biome starts to change, so much so that by the end of it, it's actually it looks more like a male's, not like a female's. We change that much. It stops how we digest food. It stops how we absorb things, how we uptake things, and how we partition energy. So it is really, really important to get our gut biome working correctly. It also is where our immunity is. It also is where our serotonin is, our feel-good hormones. Getting our gut balance right affects everything. Your glowing skin, everything, your hormones comes from your gut. So if we can get that right, everything else falls into place. It will give you more energy. You will regain your confidence. Your skin will glow. It's different foods that you eat, how you put it in there. You will just be mind blown when you actually really focus on it and you see the little changes. You want more of them. So now you understand how this process works. If you are low on energy, if you are low on confidence, if you are not feeling, you don't have that vitality, you don't feel motivated, you're sick of menopause and how it makes you feel, you don't like what you're looking at in the mirror, you know that you want to do the changes, you just don't know where to start. There's so much stuff coming at you, bombarding you every single day, and you are ready to learn more. You want to know how to eat. You want to learn about macros. You want to fuel your body without being restricted and starving and feeling like you're on that roundabout of that cycle that we seem to go through. We want to change your body shape and change the next 20 years, the trajectory of it, so you feel amazing in your own skin. You feel confident when you put your clothes on, and also you have the energy. And of course, we need that as we're getting older with the stuff our kids, and then there'll be grandkids and all sorts of things come with us. We want to play with them. We don't want to be whinging and tired and hardly walking and getting upstairs and all that type of thing. So there's so much reason for us to really work on ourselves. It is important, and putting us first is not a selfish thing, because the ripple effect from doing that through your family is massive. They watch everything and they will be cheering you on. They want you to feel amazing too. So I am very selective about who I work with. I want to give the people that work with me as much value as I can and as much time as I can to get the results. So I'm looking for really 5 people that really want to change their life in 2025. So if this is something for you, if you are interested in anything I've said today, please click the link below. We will organize a quick 15-minute call, go through it, and see if what our offer is for you. I look forward to chatting to you and making your life in 2025 totally different and change the trajectory of the next 10 to 20 years.